All right, welcome to Flagship Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Bays, and I'm here with Donald and Kimberly Martin from People Rich Comedy. Good to have you guys with us.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here.
All right, so you guys are finalists in our pitch event that's coming up on February 19th.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what it was like going through that process of applying and just that whole steps you took?
It was amazing because I've never done this before. So for me, it was an adventure. It was like getting ready to go to Kings Island or Cedar Point. Couldn't sleep. So for me, that's how I am flabbergasted to be in this position.
Well, that was his perspective. I will be honest and say we were encouraged to apply this year. We applied last year and did not make it. And so when I was approached with it again this year, I was like, no, I did it last year. And she said, do it again. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just kind of blew it off for a minute. And then she seen me again. It was Treva Bostic. And she said, did you apply? I was like, She said, you better apply. So talking to Donald and trying to come up with what we would do, what we would put our application in for, how we would pitch. Donald is a bucket of black boy joy. Like he's
That's awesome.
He wakes up happy. Everything is exciting. You ask him how he's doing. He's amazing. So the process was pretty simple for him. But I, on the other hand, am an overthinker. I think a lot. And so narrowing down what we were going to even put on our application was stressful. And then I submitted it and I'm like, is it the right thing? So it was exciting. It was exciting, but I was on pins and needles the entire time.
Not I.
Yeah.
Not I.
At all.
Not I.
I love that. BBBJ. Yeah.
Bucket of black boy joy.
I
Yes.
love that.
Yeah.
Well, since I know you, I've gotten to know you this last year. That is so true. I mean, every interaction I've had with you, you just infuse energy in people.
Yeah.
Such a positive person. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been through a lot in life, so I'm appreciative of a lot of things now where, man, I know that's why I love people, because I want people to know that they are just as important, no matter if they're the janitor or the president of a company, but just to show joy.
Yeah.
It's not happiness, it's joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, opposites attract.
Yes.
And so the financial
Yeah.
accountant type and the fly by the seat of your pants
Yes, the
type,
energy.
together. Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, okay, tell us a little bit about starting People Rich Comedy and just kind of where you're at.
Yeah. So
I love the way you tell it.
we both have a very extensive background in the arts. I started my own production company around 2018 or so. I've been a print and commercial model for a few years, and so teaching young people how to get into that industry with theater and those sorts of things. I was used to producing shows, had done it for a few years, and kind of have stepped away from it for a while. Donald, on the other hand, had been a touring nationally touring comedian for over 20 years. So when we got together, I caught myself taking him around Anderson. I thought I was just showing him, like, this is where I grew up and this is where I went to high school.
Because she was supposed to move to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was living in
you were
Atlanta.
living in Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, entertainment capital
Yep.
of the world.
Yeah. So he was in Atlanta to get rich and to get famous.
Yeah, to get famous.
And came here to visit me. And so I'm just driving him around, And he starts asking me these questions. And he's like, how many people live here? And I'm like, I don't know, Donald. He's also a bucket of useless statistics. So if you want to know anything...
Like, when did horses was invented?
Yeah, when was the first horse born?
Yeah.
When were dinosaurs?
Yeah.
So he starts asking these questions. How many people live here? And I'm like, I don't know. I know at one time it was probably like 100,000, GM time period, but not anymore. He's like, well, what do people do here for fun? And I said, go to Indianapolis. I mean, And he kind of looked, and he started looking in his phone. I already knew, Fred. I knew what he was doing. So he pulls up the population of Anderson. He's like, oh, it's only 50,000 people, or 40,
55.
like close to 50,000. And he says, And I'm like, oh, God. I just knew in my head he was getting ready to wreck our plans, because the plans were, my daughter graduated from high school in June, and sometime after we got her situated, I was moving to Atlanta. I just knew in that moment that it was changing, right? And so he said, I think we need to do comedy here. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I think we need to do comedy here. And it's dark while we're driving, so he can't see my face, luckily, because the overthinker is like, where is this going? And I'm like, okay, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we could host shows here, and we can, just all the ideas, right? And he's like, man, I'm excited. Look.
Because this is the thing. This is why it's so strange. Because I was becoming well known in Atlanta as far as for my comedy, and I was going to be in a TV series.
Okay.
And I was on like a couple major comedians. I was on their skits, and so it was going pretty good for me in Atlanta. So to come here, it was kind of like, oh no, let's pivot. It was a pivot move, and I know that was one of the things that she like. Wait a minute, this don't make sense.
Yeah.
Because I was doing good in Atlanta. It wasn't like I was doing bad.
He had finally got to a place where he was doing good.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, let's talk about this more. Like, what would we call the company? We're not married at the time. I'm Dickerson. He's Martin. What would we call it? And so he said, People Rich. And I'm like, yeah, you got to explain that. And so he said there was he worked at a car dealership in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy who came in. He was like a bishop, or he was of the religious order. But he was known to be the guy that the famous people call when they need something. So he was
Prayers,
like the bishop of the stars in Atlanta.
Okay.
And so he comes and he's looking at this car, and he's getting all the details, figures out which one he wants, and he tells Donald, let me make a couple phone calls. And after he made a couple phone calls, he comes back and he has the money that he needs. And he told Donald, he said, I don't have to be financially wealthy. I don't have to be hood rich. I don't have to be any of those things. If I'm people rich, I'll always have what I need. And when he told me the story, I was like, we're people rich. Yeah. We're people rich.
That was October. That was October 2022. When he told me that, and it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
And actually, I had my apparel, and I was doing People Rich, but it was just more of an idea. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a.
It wasn't a company.
It wasn't a company. It wasn't a way of life.
Yeah.
So you just used that People Rich stuff in what you were doing.
Yeah. So it was just People Rich, like on my hashtag, but it was more or less like for us to be in this position that we're in now. That was never in my thinking.
Yeah.
To be sitting here talking about we're not just an idea anymore, but we are a way of life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is how we live for people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It was such a great story that sometimes when he tells it, if he doesn't tell all the details, I have to start it over. I'm like, you can't leave that part out,
Yes.
It was such a great story. And so I'm like, okay. So that conversation with him was October 22. We didn't start our company until July of 23.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was around May.
It wasn't July. It was July of 24.
No,
it was 24.
Was it 24?
Yeah, because I moved back in 24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
24.
So it's been a year and a half.
Year and a half.
Yeah,
Yep.
it'd be almost
Okay.
2 years.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So 2 years later, the point is that 2 years later, that People Rich stuck with him so much that was the first thing out of his mouth when I said, well, what will we name the company? And he did. He already had these T-shirts and was wearing them, and I didn't know what it meant, But when he told me the story, I'm like, yeah, we are People Rich. Mm. It's the truth, and even to this day, we can pick up the phone and send a text message, and we'll have people who will just be available to us. Mm-hmm. And so we are, like, God has blessed us to have favor with people. We are so rich with the village that we have. So it's true to who we are.
Yes.
Okay, I gotta know. Do you like just getting ready in the bathroom? He's got these one-liners that he just like cracks out with the comedy.
Actually,
I'm expecting a couple to come out during
Okay.
this. Yeah,
She gave
I
me
need a
one Black
couple.
Boy Joy. Yeah.
You did, yeah, she
Bucket.
gave a good one. Yeah.
bucket. I was going to say that actually at home, it is usually the opposite.
Okay.
I'm serious. This is what. So.
Is the crowd get you going?
Yeah, I'm a
Yes, the energy.
stage person.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at home, most people, even when I do podcasts or I do interviews, people are like, you're totally different than when you're on stage, and it's the truth. It's like that's my alter ego.
Yep.
When I get off. So like co-workers, when the worker, and they were like, "You do comedy?" Like, you too serious. But then when they come to one of our shows, they like, "Oh my God, I didn't expect that."
Okay, well, do you have a comedy, like, do you have an alter ego name?
Go by for show.
What's that?
For show.
For show? Okay. For show.
Yeah.
For show. Okay.
So basically, if you're a lighter person, it's for sure. Or absolutely. Doggone it. But you feel a little bit darker. So that's
Our darker cousins say for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
So and that came from actually that came from 2002 because that's how long I've been doing comedy, clean faith-based comedy. And my scripture was Philippians 4:13. Says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So instead of saying amen, you say for sure. So that's where it generated from that. And what's crazy, it was supposed to be PHOSHO because Philippians starts with PH. But somebody was like, when they was doing my logo, they said, for sure, I said, oh, that sounds better. I was like, yeah, that's better than the PHOSHO.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you've been in the comedy industry and you've been in major metropolitan area, Atlanta. And you have this grounded, faith-based approach to what you do. Talk to us a little bit about how that works for you, because in the comedy industry, it's not very common.
No, and that's the thing. So for me, I just committed. I committed to doing it that way just because I grew up ministry-wise, growing up in church, my mom, my family. Plus my profanity. I was goofy when I tried to curse or use profanity. So it was never me because I even tried to do opposite. But
Because that's a huge piece of most comedy.
yeah, and so even when I tried, it was just, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. So for me, now when I just perform, like I would just perform in Columbus, Ohio for this major comedian, all I do is I tell the promoter or the MC, don't announce me as a clean comedian. Just now, when you announce me, just Donald Martin or for show. So then, when I get off stage, people laughing, and then it's like, oh, my mother would love you. My pastor would love you. You didn't even say one curse word. And so it to be funny, excuse me, to be funny with it is more amazing because people are like, well, I done heard clean comedians, but they corny.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
you're actually, you can perform with anybody on any stage because all I do is tell stories about how I grew up, about relationships, things of that nature. So it's fun because that piece of when people be like, man, I didn't know you could be that funny without using any profanity.
That's incredible because that completely opens the door wide open as far as impact in the world.
Yes.
To be able to just help people. I think the best way that we live out our faith is we do it well at whatever we're gifted at.
Yes.
If I'm a comedian, if I'm a business person, if I'm a athlete, whatever it is, and then people see it and they see there's something a little different here, and they can connect the dots with God in a very natural way and not like a churchy way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had one comedian, he's been on Def Comedy Jam, he's been on everything. And he's been in with Mark, he didn't with Martin Lawrence, all them, like he's a major comedian in the African American community. I performed with him like 2 or 3 days in Atlanta. We sitting in the green room, and he was like, man, I curse too much. I need to work on that. So then God was showing me, you're being effective without being churchy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There was another comedian too. I don't know if it's the same one, but when he looked at you and was like, "Man, I wish I could do what you do."
Yeah, he that was J. Anthony Brown.
Yeah.
He was like, I wish I could do what you do.
Being funny without being vulgar, without the language and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how, like over this last year or so, your events, what they've been like and where, and just a little bit of that.
Awesome. See Black Boy Joy getting excited.
You know what? But you know why I get excited? Because it's like an out of body experience. It's like I'm watching a movie and we in it. That's just how I look. So when you see me smiling, it's like I'm watching the movie. Like for us, like we sit down and we really, like we still got the board where we was writing names. Like when we first said we're gonna do. So I know a lot of comedians. So I started calling comedians. Hey, can you be here on this day? And so Kimberly was like, I need you to write down all, because this is where she comes in, the technical and the strategic and the keeping me in this lane.
Yep.
I need you to call these people. And so I'm writing down, hey, can you perform? And then we have all this list of people. So for me, when you ask that question and I'm gonna let her talk, I'm like excited. So go ahead.
Yeah. It's the more we talked about the idea and I'm formulating it in my mind, I'm like, okay, this could be a thing. But I need to see things, right? So I brought him the whiteboard and I wrote out all the dates and I'm like, I need you to fill these dates with comedians. Like I just needed to see, because people talk really well. Hey, let me know if you need anything, anytime you do. But then when it's time, it's like, So Donald's writing down all these comedians and he's reaching out to them, and every single one of them is like, yep, I'm there. Yep, I'm there. Yep, I'm there. I'm there. This is like 25 different comedians, because one thing that we pride ourselves on is bringing new people to every show. We've only had one. We've had maybe 3 people, Mike Larry, Josiah, K. Webb, who've come back for a second show. But other than that, we bring new people for every show. And so as I'm seeing him write these names down, and I'm like, okay, this could work. So I'm like, well, where? Just so happened I had reconnected with Corey Graham. I was familiar with Corey in the education space, and I took Donald down to Cultured Urban Winery to meet Treva, and Corey's in there. And so we just started having a conversation about, doing comedy shows, and they would be clean. And Treva was like, oh my God, do some of them here. and she said, and you need to go over and see Energy. So I'm like, okay. So we go over and walk in the building. And as soon as we walk into the gathering place, like we both immediately knew, like, yeah, this is our spot.
But you before that, when I was in Atlanta, because I didn't move until May, you sent me pictures and videos of Energy. It was like, this is it. Like, and I'm like, okay. Like, all right. So.
But when he got in town and walked in, he was like, oh yeah. So 2023, right? Or it was 24. I keep getting mixed up. 2024. We started our first shows July 2024, and at the time we were doing a show at Cultured and a show at Energy. The show at Cultured was, in our minds, more of a date night, a girls' night out kind of thing.
But it was called Jazz and Jokes.
Okay.
So we would have an entertainer of some sort, and then a couple comedians. That one didn't take very well. Ticket sales were not very good. I still don't know if it's because enough people didn't know about us then, because we were just getting started. I think maybe it was because enough people didn't know about us then, but the following that we did have was a really heavy church crowd. and they were not coming to the winery. Period. So
Sure.
instead of fighting that, because we could have went on tyrants about,
Sure.
it's just a winery,
Right.
we decided for 2025 that we would just focus on the shows for energy. So by the time we got to the end of 2024, our shows at Energy were completely sold out. And every show in 2025 completely sold out. Completely.
But the first show though,
We had to give away.
we gave away tickets.
Sure.
We had to give away tickets.
We had to
because
beg people to come.
Yeah.
We're funny. Come on. It's worth it.
Yeah, because you had to show like you have to show, the social media, so our first show, we had to give away like 60, but then
I think we only sold maybe 20, 25 tickets, but everybody else that was there, we begged them to come. Hey, you want to come? We had the dance group. Came and danced.
But so leading up to the July, I was out passing out flyers. Passing out flyers. I'm going everywhere to pass out flyers.
You would have thought we was running for mayor or something.
And that's why when we sitting here, it's so amazing to tell the story again, because people was like, clean comedy, Christian comedy, Anderson.
They told us it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work.
Yep.
And so I'm like, but God told us this. Like, I know what God said. So I was like, well, we just got to do what we have to do. And we went through a period of time where it was rough financially.
Sure.
But we believed in what God told us. We were just like, okay. And then sometimes I would have to go do a show in another city to pay for my comedians, because we always believe no matter if we sell 20 tickets or
200 tickets.
200 tickets, our comedians are going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we just believe in that.
So there's a great point. If you're going to start something, if you're going to build something as an entrepreneur, it's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart.
At all.
And the things that you have to go through and do are a part of the journey.
Absolutely.
And so I'm sure there's some hits or some things personally that you've grown in. What would you say if you could pick one or two things that has been the most meaningful to endure, go through, push through doing this?
I think.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
No, go ahead and say it.
Donald and I jumped into a lot at the same time, very new.
Yeah.
We had maybe been dating 6 months, maybe, before we decided to start the company, and then we get married. So we got a new company, we got a new marriage.
We got married at one of our comedy shows too,
which was amazing.
Yeah, September. Wow. We knew we was getting. Most people thought I was proposing, but I proposed and married her
at the same time.
But no one else knew.
Yeah.
Well, a couple other people, but yeah. But our children, our parents,
My
dad was like, "What? I got you down." And so
yeah, he already gave his consent.
I did ask him
and he
to
said
take
yes.
Yeah.
But so I would say resilience and perseverance, because now Donald says we believed what God said, but there were times where I was like, okay, God, is this really what you're telling us to do? Like, I don't understand. And I had just gotten out of a space where I wasn't happy to be back in Anderson. Being back in Anderson after being in Indianapolis and having so many successes in the entertainment industry, modeling and all those different things, coming back home felt like I had failed to some degree. So I wasn't exactly happy to be back here. And I had just got to the place where I'm like, okay, well, if I'm here, let me figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here. But I didn't think it was going to be this. I just thought, okay, while I'm here, let me get my daughter in and out of school, and then I'll figure out the next move. And then Donald comes with the disruption, and I'm like, okay, wait. So I think the biggest lesson for me is just resilience. When things don't work the way that you think they should, they still always work out. And perseverance, just deciding not to be a quitter,
Yeah.
because it's easy to quit.
Yeah.
It's easy to quit. It's easy to quit relationships. It's easy to quit businesses. It's easy to quit people, and just deciding, I'm gonna plant my flag here, and we gonna build this thing. And if we fall, we gonna get up. We gonna keep building. So
For me, it was surrendering. I just had to surrender to whatever he says. That was probably one thing that I learned. Is I don't know. You don't have to give me no explanation. I just want to be quicker in my obedience.
Yeah.
But I just need to surrender to whatever you say.
Yeah, I think everybody has some type of call in their life. They got gifts and abilities that God's given. There's something to contribute to this world.
yeah,
And there's the vision side that's awesome, that motivates you.
yeah,
But then there's the reality side that is like, what, God? What? I got to do what?
yeah,
It's going to take what?
yeah,
And, all of the other piece that's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was what I signed up for.
yeah,
But that's what grows us and develops us into who we are.
Yeah.
I think of the scripture that talks about perseverance and what it develops in you.
yeah.
And so all right, you guys are pitching.
Yes.
What are you pitching for, like, your growth expansion?
We are, and I don't know how much time we have left, so I'm going to try and keep this very succinct with our information. We talked earlier about how comedy, what's popular is vulgarity.
Yep.
What's popular is the cursing and all of that. In the 90s, there was a phenomenon called Def Comedy Jam, created by Russell Simmons. It was a 30-minute comedy show that would come on every Friday night. Wasn't it Friday night? And that thing had us locked down. It was so amazing. They went how many seasons?
It went 6 seasons, first from 92 to 97, and then picked back up 2006 and 2000, something like that.
Okay. There hasn't been anything like that since then.
Okay.
And so People Rich is, we are expanding our access to our comedy shows virtually.
Okay.
So we will be offering a virtual ticket for our shows so that people across the state lines can watch our shows.
Okay.
That's part of our pitch. The other part of our pitch is we have partnered with Donald's mentor, Akatunde. He's been in the comedy game for 30 years? Over 30 years?
And he's like he is the prince of gospel comedy for Christian. So he's he didn't wrote for any comedian you can think of. He has written for them.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's my mentor.
Very extensive background in comedy. He started a company called Joke Farm, and they have distribution deals in 59 markets where they will be creating content that will exceed what Def Comedy Jam was able to do. And it's all clean, family-oriented comedy. People Rich is in partnership with Joke Farm.
Yes.
So we will be part of the content that will be shared over the 59 markets, which means that people will be able to access us either on the web, on the app, Roku, and see our comedy even when we're not having live shows here, which our focus this year is profitability.
Okay.
We have to get to a place where we're not funding our shows. And so this is going to bring in multiple streams of income for People Rich, and it's going to allow us to hire more people. We'll need videographers and, our marketing team and all of those people to help us get boots on the ground to capture more content so that our distribution revenue will be amazing. Yeah.
And added with that, Madison County, of course, we live in Anderson, but we definitely want to expand.
Sure.
Alexandria, Yorktown, I know some people there. we're just building relationships. That is the whole goal. As we become profitable, I believe the number one thing we have to do is build relationships. So we are building relationships across the state lines, as she said, but also we're looking into Muncie. We're looking, of course, Indianapolis, because a lot of people know it's in Indianapolis, but looking at Muncie, I wanna touch every part, every square, every acre, every corner, because our shows are diverse. Like we bring in different types of comedians from all over the United States of America. So we don't want this to be, oh, this is just for blacks or for white, but we want everyone involved. That's what we mean when we say people.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the best things that you can do for a community, especially a community like Anderson, is to build something profitable and successful that people say, wow. And I know you have a passion for young people to inspire them, for them to see, wow, if they could do this, gives them a vision of maybe I could be a part of something like that or do something myself. And I think some people struggle with that whole profitability, but I think it's a God-honoring thing.
Absolutely.
If you have a gift and ability to build something that's a business that can employ people, that can influence people, then you can use that resource to be able to make a difference in a positive way. And I think that is an incredible gift to a community.
It is in the Bible that He has given us. He desires for us to obtain wealth.
Yeah.
And if His people are not wealthy, then how do we take care of the widow? How do we take care of the poor? How do we take care of the orphan, right? If I don't have enough to fill my own coffer, then how can I be the hands and feet of God if I don't have more than enough, right? And so everything that we do, and even in our state right now, Donald and I are, I was going to say the wrong word. We are heavy givers. Like we believe in the concept of giving, that you cannot outgive God, and we don't have to be loud about it. We don't need our names on anything. And so as we are able to be profitable and hire more people and do more things, we're able to bless more people. We're able to make more of an impact on our community, which we are committed, absolutely committed to doing.
Yeah.
amen.
Yeah. I think it's not about how successful you are. It's just what you do with it.
That's right.
Let's just make a positive impact with
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, how can people find you, and when's the next show?
Yes. You can find us on our website, peoplerichcomedy.com. You can find us on any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram, People Rich Comedy. Our first show for 2026 is actually February 22nd, but first, come to the pitch.
Yes.
On February 19th. And regardless of how it turns out, we would love for you to be at our show February 22nd, because we're going to celebrate. We are excited to just make it this far. And so no matter how it turns out, we'll have tons of reasons to celebrate on February 22nd.
Awesome. Well, great to have you with us. Thanks for taking a little bit of time. I'm so excited what you guys are doing and to be able to be engaged with you on this.
Thank you.
And hope that you come out on February 19th. I'm sure there will be some good one-liners.
Yes.
He's going to open that box.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's a stage.
And bring it.
It's a stage.
All right. The pitch event is, again, February 19th. It's a Thursday night at 6 o'clock. We do have hors d'oeuvres at 5:30, so hope you can join us.
Thanks for listening to the Flagship Podcast, sponsored by Pinnacle Systems. Visit our YouTube channel for the full-length video podcast, or find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. New podcasts are posted every month, featuring local leaders from Central Indiana. For more content, follow us on social media at Flagship Enterprise Center. Until next time, thanks for listening.